Good morning, Cuba Rushford. This is Unit 3, Day 3. We're going to be writing equations of parabolas using our directrix and focus. All right, so it goes without saying, our vertex, again, is just your h and k value. Remember, those h and k values get switched when it's an x equals. All right, your a value is always just 1 over 4p. Okay, that p value helps determine your a value. So in the last unit, we were kind of using the a value to find the p value. Now we're going to be doing the opposite. We're going to have the p value, and we're going to have to use that in order to find our a value. Okay? And again, the p value is just the distance from the vertex to the directrix, and also distance from your vertex to your focus. Okay? All right. So find an equation of a parabola with the vertex 0, 0 and a directrix of y is equal to a negative 2. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to put that vertex in there. Okay? Now, your directrix is y equals negative 2. So this is a Hoy problem, which means we're going to have a horizontal line. Let me get a different color here. At y equals negative 2. Okay? All right. So this will help us determine what our p value is. So as you can see, our vertex is 2 units up from our focus, or from our directrix, right? So which means our focus would also be 2 units this way. And also it goes without saying that because the focus is always inside your parabola, that means our parabola is going to be facing up. Okay? So we have pretty much everything we need except for our a value. All right? So in order to find that, well, our p value is equal to 2. And so an a is equal to 1 over 4p, which is 1 over 4 times 2, which is 1/8. So our a value is 1/8. We already have our vertex, and so we just plug everything in. Y is equal to 1/8 x minus 0 squared plus 0. And then we can certainly shorten that thing up. And so we would have 1/8 x squared. And that is the equation of this parabola. Now again, we're just sketching it, so it doesn't have to be perfect, okay, but it definitely needs to be facing in the right direction. Okay, so that's number 1. Take a look at number 2. Number 2, okay, they give us the picture, and it's going to be up to us in order to find what the what our equation is. Okay, so it looks like, okay, this p value right here is 1.5. Okay, or 3 divided by 2. Okay, however you would like to write that. Okay, I prefer the 1.5. Okay, might make for a nicer computation, but we will see. So anyway, so our p value is this. All right, now our vertex again is just 0, 0. All right, so that's nice. And now I just need to find my a value. So a is equal to 1 over 4p. And again, that p value is 1.5. So 4 times 1.5. And we get 1 over 6. Okay, so this is our a value. We have our vertex, so we have everything we need. Now, we do have to look at which way this thing is facing. Okay, as you can see, it is facing down, which means this is going to be a negative 1/6 x minus 0 squared plus 0. And so we get y is equal to a negative 1/6 x squared. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, now this one, they're giving us the focus and the directrix. Okay, so our focus is -2, comma 4. So -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our directrix is y is equal to -2. So again, this is a Hoy problem, which means it's going to be horizontal, located on -2. So now we're going to have to count how many spaces between our focus and directrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I count 6 units. All right. Now remember, our vertex is the same distance from our focus as it is from our directrix, right? It falls in between. So if it's 6 units apart, that means our vertex is going to have to be right in between them. And that point right there is -2, comma 1. And as you can see, we got 3 spaces in between our vertex and our focus, and our vertex and our directrix. Okay. Now again, our directrix always falls underneath our parabola, and that focus falls in between. So the direction we are facing, again, is just up. Okay. And so our p-value is just 3. Our vertex, again, is -2, comma 1. And so now we just need to find our a value. So a is equal to 1 over 4p. In this case, p is equal to 3. So 4 times 3, which is equal to 1 over 12. And that's positive. So we're going to go y is equal to 1/12. X minus is going to be a -2 squared plus 1. And now we're going to simplify this. So we get x plus 2 squared plus 1. And that is the equation of our parabola, which is pretty neat. And we can find all this stuff just based off of our focus and our directrix. Okay? All right. Skip to number 4. We'll do 4 and 5, and then we'll call it a day. I think that should be enough time for us in the video here. So anyway, find the equation of a parabola whose vertex is 1, 2, and the directrix is x is equal to 4. Okay? So this one's going to look a little different. All right? You will see what I mean. So 1, 2 is our vertex, and our directrix is no longer a horizontal line, but it's a vertical line at x is equal to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So our vertical line falls right here. Okay? And so remember, this is our vertex here, which means our focus is going to be the same distance away from our vertex as our vertex is from our directrix. So it's going to be right here, all right, which means our graph is facing to the left. All right. So now, that means our graph is going to be starting with a x equals instead. Okay? Now our p-value is, again, just 3. So a is equal to 1 over 4p. It's equal to 1 over 4 times 3, which again is 1/12. All right? So now we have everything we need. We have our vertex. We have our a value. Okay? Now we just have to make sure we put things in the right place. So remember, the x is equal to this. Whoops. The formula here. So it's y minus k squared plus h. Okay? So now, that being said, all right, this thing is also facing to the left, which means it's going to be negative in the front, 1/12. And so our y value is 2. And our x value is 1. Okay, let's do number 5, and we'll call it a day. All right, so given the focus and vertex, write the equation of the parabola. So our vertex is 3, 5. All right, And our focus is 3, 1. Now this is going to have to take a little intuition here. Now remember, our focus, sorry about that, always falls in between or inside our parabola, right? And so if our focus face is down, right, from our vertex, that means our graph is going to be facing down. Okay, because remember, our focus is inside our parabola. Okay, so it's going to be a y equals, but it's going to have to be negative because it's facing down. All right, now let's take a look at what our p-value is. Our p-value is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and so our a value is going to be this. A is equal to 1 over 4p, 1 over 4 times 4, which is 1 over 16. All right, and then we just have to plug in our x and y values. Now remember, the equation looks like this again, x minus h squared plus k. And so I go x minus 3 squared plus 5. Make sure you put the vertex in there and not your focus. And that's the equation of that line right there. Okay, so this is what I wanted you guys to do for homework. Tomorrow and the rest of the week we will go through a lot of these examples here. And so what I wanted you guys to do for today is to watch the video and try these problems 1 through 5. Okay, so good luck with these, you guys. We will work on these examples tomorrow in class. Okay, good luck, everybody.